Soul Simmers, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I hope you had a great week. Mine was super busy, so I really needed this weekend. I'm so happy to have you here for this speed build episode. Today we are building a restaurant in Oasis Springs, which is the desert map that comes with the base game. Just a reminder, if you like this video and you think I'm doing a good job, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe. That would make me so happy. And you will kind of see when my next video comes out. I don't know, I think you gotta click the bell if you want a notification. I'm like not sure. I just know that you want to subscribe. Alright, so I don't always build in this world, and I wanted to do something kind of special. I knew I wanted to build a restaurant, and of course I wanted it to have a really nice outdoor space, like a patio or a courtyard. So I'm thinking about what kind of restaurant would I typically see in the desert, and what would I like to see? I live in the US, and here's all the places in the desert that I've been. Las Vegas and Albuquerque. And they're both really amazing, but two totally different desert experiences, right? There's so many choices and inspiration. It really didn't make planning this build easy at all. I was inspired in so many different ways. Like when I started my mood board, I was attracted to like a colorful, festive, Latin-inspired restaurant. And that's what I originally thought that I was going to build today. You know, something with lots of pretty colors, lights in the courtyard, possibly even dancing. And then at some point, my brain started wandering and getting really off aesthetic and was like, yeah, a colorful courtyard would be fun, but our Sims want to go on a date. Give us a date place. And at first I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a fun date place. And then I was like, and that's great, but what if it was dark and cozy and had a rooftop bar where they could hold hands under the stars? So that's how we got here. Which doesn't mean that I'm not gonna build a colorful, festive restaurant. It's only to say that we're not doing that today. It's still on my list of things to do. I really love the idea of dancing in a courtyard. And actually, I haven't built a lounge type lot for you all yet. So maybe that's a thing. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments if that's something you would want to see. So I started building like a week before Love Day. And as far as I understood it, my Sims are going to go to this place for a date or something on or around Love Day. Honestly, I don't know why I haven't given up on Dine Out yet. Like, my Dine Out is so glitchy. It is such a struggle for me to get a successful date or like the gold rating date. Maybe I'm just super unlucky and I have bad dates, because date mode is a real struggle for me. But going to this restaurant, like not in date mode, just traveling with friends and to socialize, it's really nice. I like to have multiple lounge areas in my restaurants. If you're familiar with my builds at all, maybe you've noticed that instead of putting more tables in one space, I'll put like couches or something. I do that so that your Sims can come to the restaurant and have somewhere to sit just to socialize and not like necessarily have to request a table. And because of the townies, like in the game, the townies will wander around talking to each other or hovering at other tables. And I try to give them other places to hover, basically, right? Because I don't want them all in the same place. It gets kind of crowded and not great. So I do try to break up the tables and have different seating arrangements. I also don't usually like having a second floor in the restaurant because I think, and maybe it's just me, but the stairs, like my hostess and servers will get stuck sometimes on one floor or the other. Like they forgot how to use the stairs. Like, okay, but why though? Maybe it's not true for you and it only happens to me. That's fine. I just wanted to tell you how nice it is to have like a regular going out experience, not in date mode here with my Sims. All the seating is really nice for socializing, and I have some of the VIP buckets around, so your Sims can get into a flirty mood if that's what's going on, right? The rooftop patio turned out super cute, and the view was so pretty, like with the stars at night. You must come here with your Sims at night at least once, because the desert night sky slaps. And a sunset. If you could be here for a sunset, it's gorgeous. For the color scheme, I wanted to do a brown monochrome. Like the flavor is caramel on cocoa on dark chocolate. I knew I was gonna use a lot of the Desert Luxe kit, and that whole kit is beautiful. Like these curtains, I cannot live without these curtains anymore. But really, like, all the items are beautiful. The creators for that kit did a really nice job. And I like a lot of texture, so that's what I did with the walls. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with the wallpaper swatches from Eco Lifestyle, except that I tell you every time, because I love them. Like, this coppery metallic texture you see in the dining room is so perfect. Unlike in the dining room, the kitchen is bright blue, because I have no discipline. Just kidding. While I was decorating, my brain, like this brain, it just like wanders around sometimes and was like, hey, put another color on it. And I was like, no, we had a plan. We have this aesthetic. Don't ruin it. But I couldn't let it go. It was this feeling like if I didn't put another color somewhere, the whole build was going to feel unfinished somehow. Do you know what I mean? Like, does this happen to you? So I desperately needed to put a color somewhere, and I put it in the kitchen, and I love it. I love it so much. It's bright and inviting and such a cheerful color for a kitchen. So if you're wondering how that happened, that's the stitch. And maybe I'm really bad at committing to a monochrome color scheme. I'm actually learning a lot about myself, and that's really true. But today, I do not regret that. I regret nothing. If you download this lot and you hate that wall, or you are super good with tones on tones, please of course change it. Any of the browns would work nicely in here. And I mean, if you download this lot, of course it's yours. Make it your own, do what you want with it. I really did notice that I say it quite a bit where I'm like, hey, this is probably how it should be, but I'm not gonna do that. So you do it if you want. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't even own all the packs. So it happens quite a bit when I'm like, you know what? This is where that would go if I had that. This was more of a thing recently for me when I was building this basement in another build, and it was a townhouse and I wanted it to feel like a community space, but I was working on it and I was like, laundry stuff. That's what I'm missing. It would fit perfectly in here. I should leave a note for like the person who downloads it. Which is, you know, I was just being silly. I didn't have laundry stuff at the time. I very recently bought that pack and I actually enjoy it very much. It's just one of those things though, like honestly, I don't think about buying new packs until I'm like, oh yeah, see that would have been nice to have. Anyway, I actually would love to hear about what this lot is like in your game. If you were just like, hey, downloaded your lot, love it, and I did this. If you want to leave me a comment, I would actually really love to read that. Like, I was on the gallery the other day and I saw, you know, someone had downloaded one of my lots and kind of changed it up. Like, they went darker on the color scheme and they definitely had more packs than I did. And it was really fun to see what parts of my build they really liked and they kept, and what parts they personalized more. Like, it was very cool actually to see. It's the glass apple build if you want to look it up on the gallery. You can also search hashtag BBDarling08S because the person did keep my hashtag in the description, which honestly was nice of them because otherwise I wouldn't have seen it. They didn't tell me or anything, I just found it. I'd also love to know how often your Sims go to a restaurant when they go out. Like, do you have a really good dine out experience, or do your Sims go out to socialize and not actually order from the menu? Or do you skip the restaurant and your Sims go anywhere else? Like, what other lots do you like? I'm gonna wrap up my commentary here. I finished the build, like the outdoor lounge, and the last few minutes are the landscaping. Again, if you like this video and you want to see more, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe. And if you want to leave me a comment, I would love that. The last thing I wanted to talk about was, are you familiar with the name of this restaurant? Antigonon, it's a plant. It's also known as coral vine or coral creeper. It's really pretty and totally edible, which I thought was a fun fact. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode. I hope that you have a great week until I see you again, which I hope is at my next episode. Bye now.